lot of men don't have wisdom, and I've been blessed to be around wise men as I've, been maturing and growing as a man. And I realize every day how unwise I am,
Well, and realizing how unwise you are is a sign of wisdom.
Well,
it's in that weird paradox there. Mm-hmm. So, but I think that I'm 100% tracking with you.
Yeah.
Like those skills that you pass down, but I think in your father, mm-hmm. and I think one of the most things you pass down is there are way more eyes, even if you're listening to this. If you're listening to this type of podcast anyway, this is definitely true for you, which is there are way more eyes on you than you can possibly imagine. Mm-hmm. And you're way more influential than you think you are. Yeah. Even the one that thinks, well, I'm small and I don't post on social media enough. That's not what I'm talking about.
You don't need to do that. In your community,
you're observed.
The people you see every day are looking at you in some way, shape, or form. And some may even be looking up to you.
Yeah. And it's what are you demonstrating? Mm-hmm. Are you demonstrating? It's do you pick a piece of trash up off the road? How do you drive? Do you tailgate? Do you copy? What are you putting out there? And the more aware you are when you're doing that, mm-hmm. that's one of those legacy pieces that you're going to really thank yourself for when what are my kids going to say about me, about this situation, whether you're in you lost your job, mm-hmm. you're going through a divorce, you did whatever you're those hard times,
and how do you handle
their opportunities?
Exactly,
they're happening anyway, by the
mm-hmm.
way, so it just is.
Yeah,
so there's no arguing it when those things happen, but
life
it's
happens.
What type of man are you in that moment? Mm-hmm. And by the way, you talked about before, avoiding getting hard, avoiding getting tough, avoiding building up those capacities. Do you want to be exposed when one of those moments come? Mm-hmm. Or do you want to be ready for the thing you hope never happened? Mm-hmm. Well, why would I need to learn to filter water? Why would I learn to lead to use a compass? Why would I learn to lead? I'm hopefully you'll never need it. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, that's why a lot, and why go to jiu-jitsu gym? You're going to just be rolling around in the street. I'm I hope I never do. Mm-hmm. However, if I ever, you know what I mean? It's
I know how to manipulate a body if I ever get into a situation. Not saying you still won't get shot or stabbed, right? But you at least you have a chance, a fighting chance. Pun, right?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think that the bigger one that's the every man's. I mean, most people aren't going to go to a CrossFit gym. Most mm-hmm. people aren't going to get really physically fit and take it seriously.
Well, why? Because it's hard and it's scary.
It is, but I think most people, what they can't avoid. You might be a mom, you might be a dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be you might be a boss. Mm-hmm. You can't avoid the fact that the cultures that you are in and operating on when you're in a leadership role are your fault.
Yeah.
And your behavior in alignment with or against, even here at your business as well. Mm-hmm. If you state this is what we're about, this is the legacy way or whatever, mm-hmm. and I see behavior that doesn't align with that, the trust drops in droves mm-hmm. with what you say. So, I don't think people think words matter.
Yeah.
What you say to yourself matters. What you put on paper matters. And do you live it out? Mm-hmm. Or and on the other end of it, when people put these cool aspirational things down, the next move when they fall short is shame instead of correction. Hey, I maybe overreached there. Let's go back, whatever. But it's but even the laundry. If someone's listening to this, some people are ruled by their laundry. I can never get this done. I'm always so behind. I suck. I can't even run the house. I suck mm-hmm. so bad. I can't even do it. I'm no. You don't serve the laundry. Mm-hmm. The laundry process needs to be built to serve you. Mm-hmm. So it immediately changes the dynamic. And now you're looking at, do I even need to be doing this damn laundry? Can I ship all the laundry out? Should I get 2 more washers and dryers? Should I get the kids to do? I'm going to train the kid. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, it's a different conversation people have with themselves versus just setting a goal. I tried to do I tried to do it. I couldn't get to the gym. Well, I'm so sorry. I'm just not going to do it at all. I just can't do it. It's not for me. Yeah. You probably heard that before. It just isn't for me. And it's always usually one of those moments where it's I can't process the shame that mm-hmm. I am putting on myself, not anybody else putting on me. And so I revert. I'm just fat. I'm just slow. I'm just blank. Mm-hmm. I'm that is not a state that cannot be adapted. Yeah. Even people, the ones that I work with in my consulting firm I'm not competent in a certain point of leadership or whatever. And then I'm also not confident. We can fix the competence part, and your confidence is going to start to emerge from it. Even that within your own head is fixable. If you want it.
Yeah.
But if you stuck shame state people, I can't move until we're out of that. Mm-hmm. We're stuck here until you're willing to get past that. Or people that have come here before that hate. I just got to hate myself enough to start Will. Like I got, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's that. I'm like, that's not going to work. And I'm like, why? Like, we work with people here at Legacy, and I'm not speaking for Will. I'm just saying that actually like themselves and others.
Yeah.
That actually have hope for the future. That actually want, like, that's the person who's probably going to be a lifetime member versus someone who has this.
That's somebody
like,
who's going to fit into the culture.
Yeah, and it's tough. And I think workplaces have it. Like, if you're listening to this, you probably have a job. There's people at work that are just get on your freaking nerves and whatever. And I'd ask you to, like, first of all, are they getting on your nerves due to your expectation for them? And do you even have a fair expectation? Because that's who they are.
Right.
Maybe step one is realign the expectation for that person.
Yeah.
Like, versus, like, well, how do I do that? I'll give you an example with driving. I used to get really mad when people cut me off all the time. Like, look at that. Now I have this story I tell myself, like, they're probably going to the hospital. They probably, you know what, they probably really love their jobs. They got to cut me off. Now it's just like I laugh, and I've used it as a tool to train me. But I have, like, I get to work with amazing people at ADVISA in my gym. So it's like I don't even have great opportunities to talk about frustration. But it's like when someone screws up or someone does something, like, usually my answer is, it's totally okay. Well, it's not okay. I'm like, just so you know, if I was doing that on my behalf, I would have made 100 mistakes before you made this one. So we can both agree that we want to fix this.
Yeah.
But to assume that hindsight 2020 here, I would have done it better, is complete lies.
Yeah.
Let's fix it. Let's move on. But people leave, and they're so you carry your shame with you. And what are you most mad at? The stuff that people do that you do that you hate over and over again. I'm like, but once you get that awareness, like, well, who do you hate? I hate tailgaters. What are you doing right now, Will?
Yeah.
Could we back off this guy? You know what I mean?
Were you driving behind me?
I was not. I was just an educated guess in there. But I think that's what, when you bring, I think the optimistic side of this thing is whether it's like people doing the hard things to actually get tougher. Starting that CrossFit class, if you're listening to this, like, should I start the first day? Should I start? It's like you have to make that call. That call has to be yours. But like when the optimistic thing is when you become aware.
Yeah.
Yes, you see all the warts. Yes, you see how little you know. Yes, you see how weak and soft your underbelly is, how weak your ego was, how much phoniness was around. And it is not fun to look at.
Yeah.
But the thing is it's all actionable. That's the optimism. And it's like, man, one step up that mountain, your life is unilaterally better. 2 steps, it's again unilaterally better. Like, if you pick one thing, I'm just going to drink less. Dude, do that. And then watch.
Start the domino.
And then watch. Like, what's the downside? And I joke with people that are giving up vices that are really tough for them. I'm like, hey, good news, Will. If you're addicted to caffeine, you have to have caffeine all the time, and we're realizing that's affecting your sleep. Guess what you can go back to tomorrow? You can go back to what you're doing before you've already been doing it. Yeah. You know, it's like it's trying to lower the bar of, like, this isn't a zero-sum game.
Yeah.